Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can see me. Hope you're doing well. We are back for Fishy Adventures. Nope. Friday's a quick. Hello. How are you? Hope you're well. It's Friday night. It's time to sit back, relax, discuss some fishy adventures, partake of a beverage or two, maybe, and have a little bit of fun. For tonight, we have a little bit of a reaction callback going through of my experience at Aqua, the UK's #1 aquarium event. I have some thoughts, and yeah, we'll talk about them, and hopefully you have some questions and you can ask me about them. I've lost my glasses cleaner. I can't see anything. Oh no, what am I to do? Oh. As well as that, we've got the quiz. So this is the final quiz for September. Maybe some quiz updates as well of what we'll do in the future for the quizzes. Whether to keep them going, change them a little bit, or something in between. 2 quizzes, as well as some general chat about whatever the hell's going on. Sorry, I've made some notes of things that I wanted to talk about. My first note is who's that guy? And I now can't remember what that means. I've got who's that guy, CChem, and my picture. Hopefully it'll come back to me when we get to talking about it. Anyway, let's say hello to those of you who are here. If you are here and you're new, or even if you're old, say hello. Now's the time. Introduce yourself. Rainbow just loves women that... What? Rainbow just a woman that loves her ink. If you could have a normal name, that would be easier for me to read out, but we'll go with it. Evening, can only stay till 10:30. How are you all? We are well, hopefully. Stuart's from a dry but not. Evening all from a dry but not. Wolverhampton. So you're somewhere dry, but it isn't in Wolverhampton? Intriguing, intriguing. We have got Lee from a lovely sunny Bolton. Nice to see you, Lee. Snoopy RCs. Hello again. Hello also from sunny Buckinghamshire. Or from all, none of these places are new, so you're not going on the map. Hans from Sweden. Hi, Hans. Mandy says, I hope you enjoyed Aqua. It looked quite good. It did. I did enjoy it. It did look quite good. Yeah, I have some thoughts. Hopefully we'll get into it in a little while. But let's do the introduction so as we're not being rude to each other. Stuart, oh, good, good, good. That's what I like to hear. Freshwater Ichthyology, hello there. Nice to see you, Rebecca. Aquarium Delirium. Jugglers in. It's Fish Shop Matt. Not Fish Shop Matt. It is Fish Shop Matt. Oh, hello, Matt. You asked me who one of the guys was on the CChem stand, didn't you? Oh, yes, I know what that is. Right, hang on. Hello, Matt, as well. Nice to see you on the real home of Friday Night live streams. Can you go away, though, because I'm about to say nice things about you, and I don't like it when you're here. Let me find the picture. Right, this is the picture that I was looking for. Stream Deck's not working. Hang on. Nope, not quite. So this was one of the pictures the CChem people posted on their socials. It's this guy here. Who's he? I recognise him from somewhere. And he kept looking at me as if, I was like, have I got a bogey in my nose? Have I spilt something down me? What's going on? And one of my social awkwardnesses prevented me from going and saying, who are you? Because that's nothing ruder than that. Although some people did say that to me. Who are you? Why are you a VIP? How do you explain that? So, any answers in the chat? Do we know who this guy is? This one here. I know who the rest of them are, kind of. But yeah, let me know what you think. But yes, Fish Shop Matt and I both attended Aqua. I've confirmed it's called Aqua, not Aqua H, at the weekend, and I did enjoy it. I was a little bit apprehensive, as some of you might have noticed from my previous mental breakdowns on the subject of, oh, I'm going to have to speak to people, oh, I don't know about it. Kind of enforced by, so I turned up and it was like the VIPs got in at 9 o'clock and the public got in at 10 o'clock. And I turned up, and there was a big queue already. So I was like, "Oh, this is brilliant! There's already a queue outside." So I turned up, and queue of people going along the street, and Ice Walls strolls up to the door, locked. So I'm like, right, okay. So we were added to a WhatsApp group. So I'm in there going, how do I get in? I don't know what I'm doing. And just then somebody came to the door, and it was quite a thick door, and she's shouting, "Who are you?" And I'm like, Graham Kerr. What? I'm Graham Kerr. Are you with somebody? No. She's like, well, if you're not with somebody, unless you're a VIP, do you think you're a VIP? And I was like, what? Because I could hardly hear her. And it ended up with me shouting at a door, "I'm a VIP, can I come in?" While everybody else stood in the queue was like, So that was off to a great start. But I must admit, as soon as I got in there, I met the man who was running it, Reese. He was a lovely fellow. He was like, "Oh, how you doing? Nice to meet you," all that kind of stuff. Walked me down, and the first person I saw was Fish Shop Matt, who gave me the biggest of smiles and the biggest of waves. How are you doing? We'll catch up in a bit, all that kind of stuff. So that kind of settled my nerves a little bit. And then he took me in to get my pass. And George Farmer came up and kind of slapped me in the back and went, "Hey, Graham, how's it going?" And I was a bit like, "Oh, yeah." I've met him like twice, and I haven't seen him for 3 or 4 years. And he remembered my name, and I was a bit like, right, maybe this isn't going to be quite as awkward as I first thought it was going to be. But there's more to come. That is Taylor, one of the big manager guys. Right, okay. That kind of makes sense, though. Although I don't know why he was staring me out. I don't know. There's a lot of that going on. That's the thing. So one of the things I found was quite funny was they gave, I didn't get anything there. I didn't even get a goodie bag for myself. But they gave out goodie bags to everybody as they come in. And one of the things you got was like a kind of program. And do you remember that picture where it's "Meet the creators at Aqua"? And it was all the pictures of everybody, and there was me, and I was moaning about the picture they used as if I'd just woken up crying. I was a bit like, "Meh." My picture's right in the middle of it. And the amount of people that I saw while I was wandering around who were like, "Da, da, 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 da." And so let me preface this with, this is a fish keeping event that was spread across both marine and freshwater. So even if it was 50-50, and I think it was still a little bit more heavy towards the marine side, half the people there shouldn't know who I am or recognize me or anything like that. So I was kind of geared up for that. But I'd be walking around and see my picture on the back of the amount of people that I saw kind of look at the thing, look at me, look at the thing, go, I was like, right, I got a little nod there. But that was far overshadowed by the amount of people who looked at the thing and looked at me, looked at the thing and went, "Nah," and walked away. There's nothing more crushing than the expectant look of, are they going to talk to me? Are they going to? No, they're not going to talk to me. So that was a little take that. And I was joking with Matt, the amount of people that people did talk to me, so I was grateful for that. But the amount of people who talked to me to say, "Have you seen Fish Shop Matt?" I'd be like that. Yeah, he's over there. Yeah, he's over there. Nice to meet you. I got a picture with at one point when I was talking to Matt, the guys from the Aqua Exchange came up. And it literally elbowed me out the way to talk to him, and I was like, I was in the middle of a conversation. Okay, so and then they posted the pictures on their socials with them and me in the background like that. So it was interesting from the creator side of things, but what I will say was there was lots there, lots to do. There was lots of the talks were good, they were interesting. It wasn't, I think I said this in the video that I made about it, it wasn't just stick a stone there, stick a stick there, stick a plant there, aquascape. It was a bit of a background, a bit of a, oh, this got me into fish keeping, this is why I do it, this is what works, this is what I think doesn't work, all that kind of stuff. So it was really good from that point of view. I definitely think there are small improvements that could be made, and I would hope that they will get made, but I'd love to see it happen again. I did really enjoy it. It wasn't really, I don't know what I was worried about, basically. I kind of got into my stride a little bit where I was like, right, I recognize some of these people, like the MG Aquascaping. I stood next to him several times where I was a bit like, no, ooh, and he was like kind of right there, and he kept like nodding at me. I was like, right, I should say hello because I do watch his videos. How do you say hello to people? And I was like immediately like, oh, I don't know what's going on. No, no, you can't just say hi. No, pleased to meet you. No, yeah, how do I know if I'm going to be pleased about it or not? And he went, hi, you're the Timu guy. I watched your videos. And I was a bit like, yes, I am. I mean, that's not all I want to be remembered. I don't want it on my gravestone or anything. But yep, that's me, I guess. So it was fine. It was okay. There was no. I did end up speaking to just about everyone. It's one of my takeaways from it was it's funny how you exist in people's minds. So not just the other creators as much as even just random people. That's not nice. Even just people who were attending the event anyway. They would be often like, "Oh, you're the guy that makes the videos about the HMAs." And I'd be like, "Am I? Is that how you know me? Okay." Obviously I didn't say it. I was like, oh yeah, I do. So like, I'm the Timu guy. Caveman was like, you're the guy that does water changes out his window. I think I figured out what he's talking about now, as I did make a video about 5 or 6 years ago of me doing a water change and just chucking the hose out the window in my old house. So I was like, yes, I am. And somebody else was like, oh, do you make YouTube videos? And I was like, yeah, I do. I don't recognize your face, but I recognize your voice. I think I must have listened to some of your live streams while I've been doing my maintenance and stuff like that. So I'm like, all these different spheres of influence of things that people remember. So that was interesting. It was good to meet some of the other creators from the point of view of what's going on in the space of. No, sorry, to meet some of the other vendors as to what's going on in the world of fish keeping. Because again, I say this all the time. I sit in this garage, I sit in this little box and never go anywhere. There was loads of products that I'd never heard of, and I was a bit like, oh. So if I had gone as a punter, I think I would have got something out of it. There was loads of things I was a bit like, what's this? They would explain it to me, and I was like, oh, that's really clever. I wish I knew about that. And then meeting some of the creators and talking to them about what was going on was really good as well, because they've got loads of ideas and loads of tips and loads of just really overwhelming positivity of everyone that was there. One of the things I thought would be there's going to be a lot of egos in this place, because if you film yourself constantly and post it on the internet, you've got to have a big head about it. But not one person was an arsehole. They were all lovely people, annoyingly lovely in some cases. But yeah, even people that I didn't think. I mean, I've watched some of the caveman videos. And I was like, oh, he sounds irritating. But I had a bit of a chat with him, and he was fine. He was loving it. He was just, oh, I'm here on a big jolly. Woo. Matt, shut your ears, was lovely. Spent loads of time with me, talking to me about all kinds of things. I've never met Matt before. We've chatted on text and things like that before. But it was like meeting up with an old friend, talking about all kinds of things. One of the guys I met was the Tanks for Nothing guy. I want to say Sam, but I'm terrible with names. Who is like a YouTube anomaly in that he was legitimately the only person I could go up to and say, I've seen all your videos, because he's only got 6. Each of them have got like 400 million views, but he was like waiting like an excited schoolboy to talk to George Farmer. And I'm like, you are on his level, if not way above it, with the amount of views and subscribers that you've got. But he was just reinforcing the point that everybody's a normal person. And not only were they all normal person, they were all really lovely people, annoyingly so. So that I spoke to him for a good long time. So we got taken out in the evening. Free bar. We got taken out, and him and his wife / girlfriend were there. And I think because he doesn't show his face in his videos very much, not many people clocked on to who he was. Because he was saying, you're the only person that's actually come up and spoken to me and said hello. Everyone else, I've gone up to them to speak to them, to say hello. But yeah, we sat and we had to chat for, I mean, it's hard to chat because it was like in a bloody nightclub. But he was brand new, down to earth. He was from Oldham, so we talked about me going over to Fishman Aquatics and doing lots of stuff there. He was like, oh yeah, I used to go there, all that kind of stuff. Talking about his philosophy, what he does, why he does it, but not in like a, obviously I've cracked the code. He was like, I just yeah, this is I've blocked out obviously, but talking about his things, and I think we've done in one of my streams. I was telling them because we used to do the channel breakdowns where we'd look at other channels. I've not done one for donkey's ages, but I remember going through one of his videos and just being like, that's like next level. And it's the kind of thing that you don't really notice because it's so subtle. And the example I was using was he was building a tank or putting a tank together or something like that, and he'd spilled some sand onto a worktop, and there was like extra added sound effects of the sand hitting the worktop and then him brushing it away. 99 times in 100 I wouldn't have noticed that, but it was just like, oh, that's every second or something like that. There's a different piece of bespoke music that goes with every section of the video that echoes the feeling, and it actually does all the filmmakery things like driving the narratives and all that kind of stuff. And I was saying that to him and he was like, oh yeah, I suppose I didn't mean it like that. I hate you. But he did talk about lots of things that, like just chatting about, oh, what kind of fish do you keep? What kind of fish are you looking out for? Oh yeah, I think I've seen one of your videos where you did this with the discus, and just like everybody was really lovely. Loads of people were. So I've got an offer to open a shop in Leeds somewhere. I was like, I get big scissors and a red ribbon because I think that's the only way I'm going to do that. But I was not as anxious as I thought I was going to be about it because I think everybody was in the same boat where you don't, it's weird going up to people and saying, oh, hello, I've seen you on the internet. So everybody's kind of on that, and that was all right from that point of view. I met loads of people and every single one of them was lovely, so I can't even complain about that. I was hoping to get some juicy goss and tell you that everybody was really horrible. I think the only people I didn't meet is I never said hello to Georgie Scaper, not because I have any problem with him, but I just didn't. And I didn't say hello to the aquarium info lady because she looked thoroughly miserable and I didn't want to add to that misery. In terms of the vendors there, I didn't get the CChem stand, I must admit. I was talking to someone, it might have been Matt, that was going on about the cost of all these stands. So if you are one of these brands or even just a shop or whatever to hire a stand, the amount of costs that are there in like transportation and staffing costs, hotels, expenses, all that kind of stuff, everything else, they're really expensive. They had a massive stand. They had 2 tables and like a couple of dozen bottles of Prime and Safe. There was loads of people. I kind of hung out there because it was quiet, just to get away for a little bit. And if you stood there for long enough, people would filter by going, what's this? Why haven't they got anything? And there was like a rumour circulating that their van had got broken into and they'd lost all their stuff. I think it was literally they just spent their whole budget on the creators there. Because there was other stands like the Yorkshire Aquatics, Lynx Aquatics, they had more CChem products than the CChem stand had, and they weren't the only ones. That I just could not get my head around that. Like, what's the? I don't. Why? Who are you? Okay. Who are you targeting? I don't really like that. So that was good. I felt. Well, I'll quickly do the roundup because we'll get on to the quiz. I felt a little bit of a spare part at some points because there was nothing for me to do. And you could see that as a benefit because there was no expectations. I wasn't there to present an award or give a speech or whatever. Not that that's what I wanted to do, but I felt like why am I here? I don't know. I think they could have used their time better because a lot of the people there, so all those people that you saw on the influencers to meet, most of them were there with another brand. So they were there at the behest of CChem or Tetra or whoever. So I think there was only me, probably Matt, unless you were secretly paid by someone else to be there, and Chris from Aquatic Elements that weren't there attached to anyone else. So that was, yeah, I don't, whether it's like you have a creator's booth or you have a creator's space, um, that might have been a bit better because I joke about people saying, "Oh, you're Aquarium Adventures. Have you seen Fish Shop Matt? Yeah, he's over there." If there was somewhere that if you were looking for your favourite creator to go and get a picture or get some stickers or do whatever it was to do, having a place to go and do that, even if it wasn't a booth, it was just like an area to hang out in with some tables and you could have chats with people and all that kind of stuff. Thought that'd be a good idea. Um, now that we've left, I've seen loads of people have had good ideas and loads of people reached out and said, what we should have done is had like a panel, like some of the reef guys did this at the end of the show. They had like 4 of them sat down and went through a load of things. I was like, yeah, that would have been a good idea. Why didn't we think of that? And there's loads of ideas coming out saying we could do this, we could do that, set up some competitions or host some competitions or talk about various aspects of the hobby or that they're into, because we're all different. So I was getting you're the Timu guy. Mr. Bright Fried was getting you're the Blackwater guy. So I was like, yes, we have been reduced to this one thing. That's all we do. So I think there was a few times where I was like, what do I do? Am I just going to go and do another lap and see if anyone notices me? That seems silly. But at the same time, I did then get time to go and enjoy some of the talks, some of the aquascaping stuff. Like the one about fish nutrition was actually quite good because I think I've been talking to Rebecca about that, saying that they're usually based on breeding fish for consumption rather than breeding fish for or growing fish for our hobby, ornamental purposes. So the nutritional needs and requirements are different, and how there's loads of study and science for how to do it on the breeding salmon, trout, and all fish farms and all that kind of stuff. But there's very little to go on this side, and what they were doing to try and address that, and what the it was all very high level. So Rebecca probably wouldn't have enjoyed it, but I did, and I was like, yeah, well, okay, I get that now. This kind of makes sense. So there was lots to do, and I think it can only get better. I did like the fact that there was lots of freshwater retailers there. There was maybe not lots, but there was enough. There should be more. That would be nice to see. And I like the fact that a lot of the bigger, so your Charterhouse, by all accounts, the bigger brands all concentrated on the marine offerings last year, whereas this year they bought a mix of marine and freshwater. So the message was definitely getting in, and some of the people that I spoke to, that was their feedback as well. That, yeah, we came last year, wasn't very good, didn't like it, there was no freshwater stuff. It's a bit better this year. So as long as they keep making it a bit better, then I think that'll be a really good thing to do. So before I waffle on too much longer, I am going to put a link in for the quiz. So we'll start that in about 10 minutes or so. I can remember how to press the copy button. There we go. Let's see, I'm probably miles behind in the chat now. The Aqua Exchange is a website. I think apparently it's launching on the 1st or something. Or I saw a post recently about it launching very, very quickly. I find the advert funny because it's like Aquarius Classified doesn't exist. Well, I mean, unless you're in the know, it kind of doesn't. Not like they advertise anywhere. And if you accidentally stumble across the website for Aquarius Classified, you're like, oh, I've landed in the 90s. Oh, where did that happen? The 30th. Yeah, I think I saw something like that. Pardon me. I wonder why the freshwater keepers don't like the marine side of things. I keep marine, but also really like the freshwater side of the hobby. I just love fish, I suppose. I mean, Matt, I think you've hit the nail on the head. One of the comments. So I met loads of the reefy guys. Again, Matt might have been the first person to speak to me, but Michael from Aaron's Aquariums was like shouting at me from the other side of the hall, going, Graham, hello, hello. Again, someone I've met once or twice and not for 5 or 6 years. They couldn't have been nicer. I met some of the spiritual reefer was one of the guys, the East Coast reefer, Reef Dork. And again, after the fact, all decided to, we should probably do some collaborations rather than doing it when we were all in the same place. But yeah, we went out with them. lovely night, lovely time with those guys. And I did talk to them about that. I was like, oh, well, it always does seem to be freshwater versus marine rather than freshwater and marine or reef or whatever your various. And I think they see us, and a lot of marine keepers do see this as they see marine as being a bit higher and better. So I did do my best to bring them down a peg or two to say it's at best the same. But yeah, some of them are just. In the olden days, some of the marine keepers. The reason I got out of marine, because I used to keep marine tank, was, and I guess it would be similar to a degree in freshwater, but the reason I got out of it mostly was because I couldn't find anyone to help me. Because they were all so pompous, and maybe I was just looking in the wrong places. But the one thing that gets me was I can't remember what I was asking about, but asking for advice for how to calculate what to top up and how much to top up and something like that on one of the forums, and they would just give me like half answers, and it was like riddles. I'm like, why are you giving me just whatever? So if I'm saying how much water do I need to top up for evaporation in a week roughly if my tank's this size, just keep your hands out of the tank. That's all you need to know. Oh right, what's that got to do with how much water? Well, if you don't know that, there's no point you being in the hobby. What? All right then, why is that important? Me, like an idiot, thinking, is it because I've got oils on my hand that could be poisonous to the fish? The fish going to bite me? What's the problem putting my hands in? What they meant was just leave it alone and let it do its thing. Just say that then, you knobhead. So that was my experience of marine keeping. Almost everyone, in fact, the only one that wasn't like that to me was Michael from Aaron's Aquariums. Which is probably why we got on all right. But so a couple of the guys that I went out with on the Saturday night were fairly new fish keepers and YouTubers in the marine side, and they had the same experience. So they had tried it a few years ago, given up because it was a bit too hard and a bit too. If anyone keeps discus, if you've ever been part of any of the discus groups on Facebook, or beta groups, I think is another equally one. Every marine group used to be like that, where everyone just wants an excuse to attack you and tell you you're stupid and you're rubbish and everything's terrible and you should just go away and jump off a bridge. So it's really hard to do, but they were saying a lot of that has changed, and it is because of things like YouTube, where you have these lots more accessible channels who are going through it and documenting it. Spiritual Reefer, for one, I don't think he uploads very many videos very often, but I think he's a videographer anyway, so it's all very high quality, and he has documented him doing it from the start, so you can see all these mistakes. So much like I give you lots of videos of how to break things and do things wrong, therefore you know not to copy them, they've got the same sort of thing from the other side. But anyway, I had a few discussions where, I mean, it's probably stupid and not worth it because they are so diverse, but whether it would be a good idea to try and do some collaborations with some of the marine guys about bridging that gap a little bit, even if we never actually get there. Sam is right. Who's Sam? Oh, Sam as in the, yeah, I get you. Sam is the Thanks for Nothing guy. How much was each creator paid? I'll tell you how much this creator was paid. I don't know whether Matt wants to share his fee. I wasn't paid. I talked to a few of them who weren't paid. I talked to a few of them who were there, had their expenses covered because, like I say, they were with a brand or whatever. But I don't think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think Aqua was paying creators. I think it was the brands that were paying the creators to be there, and then Aqua was going, yes, they're here. And I'm not that gutted. It would have been nice to get expenses, but, you know, I'll do a video that'll cover my hotel, hopefully. My live streams and my video. Did you host a quiz on the Saturday? I did not host a quiz on the Saturday, no. I was shattered. My step count nearly exploded. The amount of laps I did of that bloody big massive warehouse. I got back to the hotel on the Saturday night after it had closed. They were like, right, come on, meet here at 6:30. And I was like, right, okay, I'll just have a wee lie down here and then I'll get up and have a shower. Oh, I might just stay here all night. Oh, ow. I was in a bad way. Most people are really nice, even if they seem scary. I'm like, yeah, they are. And I don't know why that isn't the case. Brummy Dan, he's one of the people that couldn't find Fish Shop, Matt. Yeah, I know. Discus Adventures says, hi Graham, a couple of my discus have paired up, so I'm going to set up a breeding tank to see if I can get some fry. Any first time tips? Just keep your hands out of the tank. No, first time tips is don't expect too much. That was all I would say. Is quite often discus are, I'm trying to think of a nice way to say stupid. They take a few attempts to get it right, so it's not going to, don't expect it to work the first time. If it does, great, but if it doesn't, don't worry about it too much. More advanced tips are, do keep the water warm, keep the water clean, obviously, as you would do anyway that you would want to do. Have a cone or a slate in there, something for them to lay on. If you can, make the fish the darkest thing in the tank. So if you're using a sponge filter, maybe wrap it with some filter floss or something like that. Purely because when the fry go free swimming, they look for something dark and assume it's their parents that they can then feed off, because they feed off the slime coat of the parents for the first few days or weeks. And if they get confused and go, oh, there's a dark thing, and it turns out to be the sponge filter, they're not going to get much nutrition off that. But mostly enjoy it, chill out, don't expect the world to change overnight. They'll probably have a dozen goes is not unusual before you actually get fries past a free swimming stage. How did you miss me? I was static for most of the weekend. That's the problem. Loads of people couldn't find you because you were covered by people, and there was like a queue engulfing you. A few times people said to me, have you seen Fish Shop Matt? And I was like, he's literally right there. But, Fish Fam Link says, turn that blue button. No, that's not what it says. It says, turn that like button blue and smash subscribe. Well, I've not even shown you my other angle. Ta-da! I had to go out and buy a special cable and everything to do that. Did they not pay you the 10k show-up fee? They did not. But I don't begrudge them. I'm not worth it. Most of the time they're paid by the company. Yeah, they are. I was in my many laps kind of strolling past the WASI booth with the, I'm a VIP, don't you know anybody want to talk to me about marketing? Yeah, no, okay. The Tetra guy is like, hi, I'm friends with the guy you're already sponsoring. Maybe we could have it. No. Did not get far. There for everyone is the link to the quiz. We have 20 people in. There are no aqua questions, I don't think, this week, so you can all relax. Mostly general knowledge, a couple of newer things, maybe one or two fish questions, who knows. We'll do that in a minute. Graham's in late, but just in time for the quiz. Excellent. No worries. I'm sorry if I'm missing out some missing out some messages. I was looking for this message from Rebecca. Marine's dull. You should definitely come to one of these events, because that kind of argument would have gone down well. Is there a reason why there was no fish? I don't know this for 100% sure, but there was meant to be fish. A few of the retailers were told they could bring fish, and then at some point there was some kind of license snafu, and they couldn't get a license to the venue to sell fish. Some other people said there was like an animal rights problem. I don't think that was true, because some of the people that were organising it were saying, well, we think we've got it sorted for next year, so there hopefully should be fish next year. I mean, there was shrimp, there was fish there, they just weren't for sale. The shrimp were, I think. Stevie P 2003 says hello from the Keystone Clash. Zen is wandering around here somewhere as well. Hello, nice to see you. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to invite me to the Keystone Clash one day and somebody covers my expenses, I'm more than happy to wander about there looking awkward for a couple of days. Yeah, just saying, just saying. I hope you're having fun anyway out there. It seems like it was good last year. Why was Aqua Info miserable? I don't know if she was miserable, but she just didn't look like she was having much fun. Right, I'm miles behind, right. Here we go. We're going to do the quiz. That's what we're going to do. There's, I don't know, change the layout of this again. I can't tell what the hell's going on. I think there's about 20 of you ready to do quiz. Oh, my head's disappeared again. Here we go. Hoi. Hey, Aquafunk has turned up as well. Hello, Aquafunk. Nice to see you. Just time for the quiz. For any of you there, if you like the scanny thing, there's the scanny thing. We're going to kick off in a second. Jersey CI Dave says the Huyger light that you made the video on, is it controllable? It has features. It has two features. It has on and it has off. They are the features. It is not controllable in any other way. I did actually film a section of that, and I don't know what happened to it because it didn't make it into the final edit. Right, are we ready, people? Starting the countdown. Maybe Fish Shop Matt will play and you can have an accolade that you managed to beat Fish Shop Matt. If you managed to beat him, I mean, saying a lot there. Right. Question number 1, everybody. Which of these Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavours would not be found on the freezer shelf? Caramel Sutra, Cherry Garcia, Dirt Cake, or Chunky Hubby? I think you need to get on a booth next year to host a fish keeping quiz. Yeah, definitely. I think I might. I was thinking about that. I was like, I might get my own booth. How expensive can it be? And I'll just turn it up with loads of games and stuff. What do we think, people? We don't know, it seems. So 5 people have gone for Dirt Cake. But the correct answer is Chunky Hubby. Ben & Jerry founded the Vermont Ice Cream Company. There are flavours called Chunky Monkey and Chubby Hubby, but not Chunky Hubby. Got you on a technicality there. Rainbows in first place. Mr. Swimmer and Laurie Carriday making up your top 3. Garage Gills. He's kind of spreading the... You're going to make sure you get a choice. There's a lot of Garage Gills in there. Does that mean there's only like 6 people playing the quiz? What's happened? Has all my Aqua Talk ruined my popularity? What little of it there was. Question number 2. Discus fish are native to which river system? Is it the Orinoco, the Amazon, the Nile, or the Congo? Is it the Orinoco flow, the Amazon, the Nile, or the Congo? It's because they're all at the Keystone Clash. That's why they're not playing the quiz. The Americans have let us down again. Not just world wars and things that they're late to. 9 of you going for the Amazon. 2 of you should just pack up now and go home. Of course it's the Amazon. Mr. Swimmer takes the lead with a 76 pointer, not as fast as Error 404 and Elaine at 83. Still good though. Question number 3. Which of these words is used to describe this much visited complex in Egypt? Egypt, is it necropolis, megapolis, lycopolis, or acropolis? Acropolis? Oh. I'm twisting myself. Necropolis, megapolis, megapolis, If you're from Glasgow, that would be funny. Lycopolis, Acropolis. Which of these is used to describe that picture? The Rio Nani isn't connected to the Amazon. I mean, it's very much Amazon adjacent if it isn't connected. What do we think? 7 of you going with Acropolis? It is Acropolis. Well done, 7 people. Mr. Swimmer up in first place. Juggler yet to get off the board, or fell asleep with all my talking earlier. Question number 4. What colour lagoon is this famous creature found? Let's just spell colour correctly. Is it the blue lagoon, the white lagoon, the brown lagoon, or the black lagoon? The Orinoco is Amazon adjacent. It's not as adjacent as the... I'm not being done on a technicality again. Just looking up maps of the 2 rivers now. I mean, adjacent in as much as it's in South America, but I think that's pushing it. What colour lagoon is this famous creature found in? You think it might be the Blue Lagoon. You're thinking of Police Academy. Because it's the Black Lagoon. The film is called The Creature from the Black Lagoon from 1954. The title of the film, the creature is actually Gillman. There you know. Elaine knew, Juggler knew, Weed Duck knew. Question number 5. If you order pad thai in an Asian restaurant, you can look forward to seeing blank on your plate. Is it dumplings, soup, rice, or noodles? I'm quite proud of the eliminator tonight as well, so even if you do terrible at this quiz, you should hang around for that. I'm doing a lot of being proud of myself these days. Good boy, Graham. If you order pad thai, what do you get? A couple of dumplings, a couple of rices, but mostly noodles. It is indeed noodles. Pad thai is a noodle-based dish. The word pad means stir-fry. There you go. Stir-fried noodles. It's not changed the top a hell of a lot. Just while we're doing that, we'll have a quick look at the current standings. Now that we're into, this is week 4, the final week. Up until today, in position number 1 was Juggler, Stevie P, and Weed Duck were your top 3. The rest of the top 10 are SG8, Strabo, Zenny, Fat Kids When It's Seesaw, Mr. Swimmer, Laurie Carry Day, and Dan the Man. So Mr. Swimmer and Laurie Carry Day, you could make up some points this week. Question number 6. Off which continent's coast can this massive marvel of nature be found? South America, Asia, Australia, sorry, Australians, or Africa? The question's very vague unless it is in the picture. Can you not see the picture? If it helps, the pictures of the Great Barrier Reef. Which at least 9 of you knew, because it is indeed the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Mr. Swimmer, Laurie Carry Day, and Error 404 in the top 3, weed duck in 4th, juggler in 5th and 14th. Question 7. Which of these aquarium favourites breathes air through its intestines? Is it Corydoras, clown loach, ropefish, or electric eel? If it turns out more than one of these fish breathes through its intestines, you have to interpret the question as, which of these aquarium favourites does Graham know breathes air through its intestines? Oh, you did not know. So pretty even across the board there with Corydoras, clown loach, ropefish, and electric eel, but the answer is... not that button. The answer is Corydoras. You know, when they go on their little jaunts to the surface, through their gulps of air, they bring it back down, and then it's absorbed into the bloodstream through their intestines. Now you know. Rebecca knew. I thought she might. Question number 8. What famous actor can be seen in the silhouette in this beloved movie poster? Is that Chuck Norris, Sylvester Stallone, Clint Eastwood, or Charles Bronson? Who dat, basically. Well done, almost everyone. It was indeed Sylvester Stallone. That's the Rocky movie poster. Is this Rocky? Is this Rocky? I had to watch a very dull documentary on this guy. I really like Sylvester Stallone. Did you know? I know. If you watch the really dull documentary, me recounting facts that were probably already in it isn't going to change your opinion any. Yeah, I still got it wrong, but don't clown loaches do that too? If they do, the website I looked at didn't say that. So I'll go as far as not that I know of. Question number 9. What actor known for their work in Universal monster movies played both Dracula and Frankenstein's monster in films for the studio? Was it Claude Rains, Bela Lugosi, Lon Chaney, or Boris Karloff? One for the older generation, potentially? Or maybe one for the classic monster movie fan. Glenn Griffin, hello! Oh, everyone's gone with Bela Lugosi. Of course it is. Famously. Lisa says, Jesus! An essay for a question. I was about to say I'm non-denominational, but that's not what I meant to say. I'm non-discriminating against people who read fast and slow. So there are short questions, long questions. Easy questions, hard questions. Right. We're about to go on to question number 10. Remember, if you're new, this is the gambling question. If you don't bet any points, you can't win any points, even if you get the question right. If you bet all your points and get it wrong, you lose them all. So it's really up to you what strategy you think serves you the best. Here comes your cryptic clue to help you decide whether you want to bet or not. It's a fishy gamble. It's a fishy gamble. What could that mean? Is this a fishy question, perchance? I'm going to restock my beverage while you think about that. I'll read it out first for you. Mbuna chichlids are native to which body of water? Mbuna chichlids are native to which body of water? Cichlids. I know. Don't write letters. Are they from Lake Victoria, Lake Malawi, Lake Tanganyika, or Loch Ness? Mbuna cichlids are native to which body of water? Lake Victoria, Malawi, Tanganyika, or Loch Ness? I mean, no doubt you'll find some in all those places, but what's the exam answer? Most of you think it's Lake Malawi. Oh, interesting. Not interesting. Of course it is. Well done, those people. What has that done to the scores? That has rocketed Rebecca into the lead on 1,174 points, closely followed by Error 404 and Weed Duck, bringing up the rear a couple of 100 points behind that. All the various garage gills are still on 0 points. Who lost out there? Who were the big losers of that round? Yeah. Well, sorry, Rainbow. We lost you some points. No matter though, you can make them back in question 11. Which of these golden titles is not the actual name of a James Bond film? Is it Goldfinger, Gold Raker, Goldeneye, The Man with the Golden Gun? Mbuna cichlids are pretty restricted due to the lake's history and ecology. I think the radiation of the Malawi cichlids is only 2,000 years old. I did not know that. Thank you for that. Which of these golden titles is not the name of a James Bond film? Oh, somebody went for Goldeneye. Not only a James Bond film, a James Bond game, a James Bond classic. The answer is, of course, Goldraker. It's Moonraker, not Goldraker. Well done, almost everyone. Question number 12. What river runs through this incredible natural landmark in the United States? Is it the Colorado River, the Snake River, the Rio Grande, or the Mississippi? If you haven't got images and you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a picture of the Grand Canyon on screen. Counting this as an aquatic question because it's got a river in it. Got to get my aquatic quota up. What river runs through the Grand Canyon? Is it the Colorado, the Snake, the Rio Grande, or the Mississippi? You think it's the Colorado or the Mississippi. It's the Colorado. Well done. Most of you getting that one correct. So we shall move swiftly on to number 13. One of these is not an American Kennel Club breed of terrier. Which one is it? Is it the Airedale Terrier, the French Terrier, the Skye Terrier, or the Scottish Terrier? We're going to have to add our own applause sound effects because my Stream Deck's broken. I shall need to fix that later when we get to the end of that. Your own whoop, 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 whoop. Ooh. Even Stevens between French Terrier and Skye Terrier. The answer is... I'm sure Juggler will know this one. French Terrier. Yes, it does use the American Kennel Club. I bought questions from another source. An American source. Oh, the top two missing out, but not in such a fashion that they can be overtaken. Question number 14. Which of these big cat NFL teams doesn't actually exist? Is it the Carolina Panthers, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Detroit Tigers, or the Cincinnati Bengals? Oh, Adam wants to use his points. Don't forget your points, people. If you are a member, you get some free points. Adam's going to make me do some maths. I will add them at the end of this question. Ooh. Quite even across the board on this one, but the answer is the Detroit Tigers. It's the Detroit Lions. That's what they were originally called. So, there we go. Adam is Weed Duck. So he has 1182. He now has 1257. Lisa wants her points as well. There's Lee gone. Lee. Oh no, more Lee. There we go. 267 plus 75 is 342. Oh. Should really make a noise for cats at my keyboard excuses. Cats are out there terrorizing quiz shows everywhere across the internet. Question number 15. Along with white rum and lime, what is another key ingredient in the classic mojito cocktail? Is it salt, mint, orange, or coffee? What would you have in a mojito? Oh dear me, big yawns. Been a busy week. Couple for coffee, couple for salt, but it is indeed mint. The classic Cuban mojito highball cocktail is white rum, lime, and fresh mint, which you muddle rather than stir. Question number 16. Which of these British monarchs was the first to make this famous house the royal residence? This famous house you can see is Buckingham Palace. Is it Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth I, King Richard III, or King Henry VIII? Who was the first to make Buckingham Palace the official residence? His favourite letter is N. Oh, Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth. No, people aren't sure. It was indeed Queen Victoria. She was the first one to move in there in 1837. Don't say you don't learn things. The palace was built as Buckingham House in the 1600s, but in 1837 she... And I love that. Oh, Error 404 gets that. Creeps closer to Laurie Carey Day in first place. Question 17. What is the name of this beautiful and historic entryway in Berlin, Germany? I can't tell you the name of it because that is the answer, so you'll have to look at the picture. Is it Watergate, Anhalt Gate, Kopnik Gate, or Brandenburg Gate? So imagine like a big building that doesn't actually look like a gate, but definitely is a gate. And it's in Berlin. What kind of gate might it be? Another way to ask this question is, how many gates have you heard of in Germany? Most of you have only heard of the Brandenburg Gate. Luckily, because that's correct. Well done, loads of you. Question number 18. Here we go. Which liqueur adds to the characteristic flavour of a Black Forest Gâteau? I feel we might have been a bit Black Forest Gâteau heavy in the last few weeks. Have I had a question about this before? Anyway, is it Grand Marnier, Amaretto, Kahlua, or Kirsch that's in a Black Forest Gâteau? I like a nice Black Forest Gâteau. It's the only kind of cake I like. Oh, carrot cake. Carrot cake and Black Forest Gâteau. What do you have in a Black Forest Gâteau? You lot think it might be... Oh, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. You lot think it might be either Amaretto or Kirsch. It is Kirsch. German cherry brandy. What is a gâteau? Says I don't see a cake, a fancy cake. What is a gâteau? Why is it a gâteau? That's a good question. If you just want to sound, I was just assumed it was French for cake, but let's have a look. Well, gâteau is simply the French word for cake. A gâteau refers to a more elaborate, layered, and often ornate cake, typically made with lighter sponge as the foundation and with delicate fillings or cream or fruit, contrasting with a more generic, densely textured cake that is often fully frosted and might have a simpler filling like buttercream. So, I was kind of right. Fancy cake. Right, what's that done to the scores? Oh, Laurie Carriday pulling away again. Both Error 404, whoever they are, and Weed Duck can't make up. Penultimate question time. Which of these alter egos of the Marvel superhero team in the Fantastic Four isn't quite right? Is it Reed Richards, Ben Grimm, Susan Storm, or Johnny Thunder? Which one of them is the wrong name for the Fantastic Four? What is Kirsch? It is cherry brandy. What do we think of this one? 6 of you going for Johnny Thunder. That is correct. It should be Johnny Storm. Adam says, am I the only one sick of Pedro Pascal and everything? No. No, you're not. I mean, I like him in lots of things that he's in, but I'm like, oh, for God's sake, can we not have one TV show or one film that doesn't have Pedro Pascal in it? Not that good. Right, final question time. This again is a gambling question, so it depends how confident you feel, what you want to risk. What is your risk to reward ratio feeling? Here comes your cryptic clue. To the moon! The fungal zombie thing, that's actually quite good. Again, it's Pedro bloody Pascal, but spoiler alert, he dies. So he's not going to be in it for much longer. To the moon! Get your bets in. Roll up, bets in. What is the name of NASA's new space program hoping to visit the moon again in 2026? Is it Artemis, Apollo, Aegis, or Thor? What is the name of NASA's new moon mission? Artemis, Apollo, Aegis, or Thor? Apparently they could be going there as early as February. Surprised no Ryder Cup questions this week. Do you know what? I did think about that, but I forgot the Americans wouldn't be here, and I don't like to torment Stevie P with too many sports questions. But maybe next week. Maybe next week. What's the scores anyway? I haven't actually checked. Sorry, we're now going to pause the quiz while Graham looks up the scores. US in big hole despite late point. So we're winning 3-1. Ha ha ha. Take that, Americans. Sorry. I am a fully grown adult. I'm quite old as well now. Right, final question. What was the name of it? It is, according to you, Artemis. It is Artemis. Well done, everyone. Right, let's have some... I want all of you doing fake drum rolls at home. Show the final rankings. Your winners are... In third place, Sweet Duck. Yay! 2,982 points. In second place, Error 404. Etc. But in first place, Laurie Carey Day. Rebecca, 3,272 points. I did not mean to sound quite so surprised at that. But well done. Rebecca and her cat have scored 3,272 points. So we're going to have to do some live spreadsheeting and see how much this affects the final standings for the month. I know everybody loves the live spreadsheeting just so much. Here we go. Week 4. Where's the other one gone? It's over here. So we're going to delete that. We're going to copy that and that. We might just copy them because they're all garage guilds. There's hardly any people here this week. This could have been the chance to do some damage. So that's only the top 10 really scoring points. Rainbow and Crux, not very many points. Sorry. That means the winner for November, no, we're in September, Graham. Winner for September is Juggler. Meow, meow, meow. Woo, yay, woo. God, it's pathetic, isn't it? Woo, yay. Juggler by a margin and a half. Yeah, Keystone Clash, I guess. I think that could be why. I can't begrudge them it. I mean, but surely they should be playing this live stream on a big screen so I could have the whole of the Keystone Clash as quiz players. I could have done a Keystone Clash specific quiz. DVP, get that in for next year. Book me in. But well done, Juggler. You have won a prize, which I will eventually get around to sending to you. Garage Girls couldn't get in. Well, an error message wouldn't let me in my head. So this is one of the things. I'm thinking about ditching the prizes because I get quite far behind and I forget who's got prizes and I don't know what's going on. And it feels unfair that some people get just randomly kicked out of the quiz. And some people are fine. So does anybody play for the prizes? Is that what's motivating you? Because if you do, and you want to keep them, that's fine. We'll keep them. Or if it's just for fun, something to do, a little bit of light relief on a Friday evening, and you don't mind about the prizes, I think that's what I mean. I still will do the giveaway ones. Where is the bloody thing? I'm going to start a poll. So I'm going to make both cases for both sides of the argument. Right, why do you press? There we go. So, some people get really upset when they get kicked out of the quiz. And from my point of view, I feel bad about it because I have no control over it. It's nothing to do with me. It's some software that I do pay for. And if I write them a ticket and say, you're just buggering up things and it's not working, they go, eh. So I can't, even when I was doing the GeoGuessr ones, it would still crash for people. I mean, part of it's your internet connections. That's not always the fault of the quiz software. But it does seem a bit unfair that if somebody's done 3 weeks of good scores and then they get kicked out in the fourth week. So should we just do it for the giggles, for the fun, and then it's not quite as serious? Is that the word? It's not even it's that serious. Or is that one of your big draws? Because it is a thing. I would like to be able to. I mean, I started doing this as a way to draw people into the live stream. It has not worked. Very few more people come to the live stream because I do prizes. So from that point of view, it hasn't worked. But if you are one of the people who has come because I give away prizes and you hope to one day win them and defeat Adam or Juggler, then let me know. There's that just, you're not being materialistic. There's no problem with that. It's not a bad thing. I'm just interested to hear some opinions of whether you care or not. So, well, we'll leave that around for a little while and move on to. Where's the button gone? Oh, it's because it's not working. Okay, hang on. Wash. There, we'll go for view number 2 for a bit. I can't see any of my screens though for this one, so. Olivia plays for the prize. Well, maybe if I just send Olivia some things every now and again. I'm probably a few months behind for many prizes. So I do want to catch up on that. So, for instance, I've got the 100,000 subscriber live stream will hopefully be coming up soon. I do want to do a load of giveaways for that, so I have been squirreling away various things. Oh, announcement. Oh, if only the bloody thing worked, I could do a proper announcement. Oh, hang on. Why has that done that? It's working! Well, I can do this. I can do it. No, it's those ones aren't working. Okay, fair enough. We could have done. I could have made the noises.
Surprising.
Sorry, where was I? What was I talking about? Fluval. I was about to get somewhere. Fluval got in touch. Remember last week when we were talking about the Fluval Flex? No, the Fluval Flex? What's it called? God, my brain. Yes, the Fluval Flex 2.0 that we were talking about last week. It turns out Fluval had emailed me like many days before that to say, "Oh, Graham, you keep talking about the Fluval Flex. Would you like one? And is there anything else you want?" So I was like, "Yes, I would like one. I've been wanting one for ages. That's why I keep telling you I would like a Fluval Flex. Well, you don't send me a bloody Fluval Flex." So hopefully I will be getting a Fluval Flex at some point in the near future to see whether all the much covered community-led improvements, I think that's the way we're meant to be talking about it, are all that. So that'd be really good, and I'm going to use that as my daughter's tank. I'm going to give her a bit of an upgrade, give her a nice fancy tank and see if she can get on with that okay. But at the same time, I was like, oh, can I have loads of other shit, please? Because I'm going to do a 100,000 subscriber stream and hopefully get a few more people in here and just throughout the stream do lots of little wheel spins, giveaways, all that kind of stuff, and just give away, whether it's like a couple of bags of food or a light or a filter or whatever it might be. That's all fine. I've been saving up some of my Temu tat as well, so you know it's not all going to be good. So I would like to do that every now and again, but I also feel bad that I'm behind on the competition wins. got a day job and it gets in the way of all these things. At least it's all for the fun of moaning and complaining. Clark's Mini Fish Room, hello there yourself. Adam says, as someone who has unrewarded wins, I really have no need for the prizes. Yeah, and the prizes aren't that good anyway. Not that I'm trying to push you down one road or the other. I just think I could maybe make it more useful, more bigger and better. So we stopped doing weekly prizes because I thought it would be better to do monthly prizes because I could do bigger and better prizes. But I think if we go even further away and do bigger and better prizes that are even more spread out, we can go back to the giving away Fluval Aqua Skies and things like that we used to do. Rather than, here's some fish food and some stickers. Sorry. Here's a 3D printed clock. They should get a handicap. I never win. It's always the same guys. They should get a handicap. I like that. I mean, it might be a bit of a nightmare to control, but that could work out quite well. I like Family Man's idea. The winner loses points for a certain amount of time. Yeah, so like if you win, you start on minus points for the next week. Maybe. Another Wheel of Fortune come up? Yes, there will be another Wheel of Fortune come up. Does the spin button work? Oh, the spin button does work. I can't even remember what's on the spin button anymore. Pickled egg. Okay, we might need to change and update the Wheel of Misfortune is currently still set up for the hot chip challenge and all that kind of stuff that we did. Of course, we're getting to that time of the year as well where we need to start thinking about the charity drive. Mask time. Oh, I found that mask the other day. Where did I put it? Bear with me, caller. Hello. Oh, I can't see anything. Oh, that is awful. Ooh. A yearly winner? Yeah, we could maybe do that. My 3D printed Pleco is cool. Yeah, I'm happy to send them out all kind of tat. Maybe that's what we do. Can I have dyslexic extra time for quiz? Yeah, we could be able to do that. If you supply a doctor's note, I'm happy to give you extra time. Huyger is flexible. I emailed them about air pumps and they have offered me their full range of. I mean, I can't say a bad word against Huyger. They offered me, sent me an email the other day saying, "Oh, would you like an automatic fish feeder?" And I was like, "No, I would not." I'm kind of regretting it now because I've seen someone else's video about the automatic fish feeder and it looks bloody awesome. Got a camera and everything. But so I got the emails like, no, but I don't like my light situation. I'm not happy with it. Have you got anything in the light? So they sent me their full range of lights, said, yeah, pick whatever you want. And I wanted it for this tank. So the Huyger video that I've just done was I wanted lights for this tank. said, well, I like this one, but I'm going to need like 4 of them. Otherwise, there's no point in sending me them. And they said, one of the bass going mental over there. And they said, in fact, we'll change you so we can see what we're talking about. So they sent me these instead. We can't send you 4. We'll send you 2, but don't tell anyone you've got 2. We'll only make a video about one of them. I probably shouldn't have told you that. I've only got 1 of them. But they literally every month will send me a list of all Hooger products saying, do you want any of this? They don't even say you must make a video. It must be 8 minutes long. It must mention these key talking points. It must do this, that, and the other. It's, yeah, you can have it. They're not once have they chased me up. In the olden days, they were terrible. They'd be like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I was just like, no, not interested. Don't want it. Why would I want it? But now, the new person that's doing it's like, yeah, have this. Go for it. Do what you want with it. And I'm really happy with these lights. They're bloody brilliant. I've been having a conversation with somebody in the comments who's saying that, oh, you should stop buying aquarium lights and just use video lights. Cheap video lights are a better spectrum than any aquarium light. So I am going to spend the weekend making a video proving him wrong, because they're bloody not. I've got 2 not even that cheap video lights that I did in to replace these 2. Don't touch the sides. But yeah, these ones, really happy with them. Colours of the fish are just fantastic. In fact, can I zoom in a little bit and show you what's going on there? About as much as I can zoom in there. Really happy with these lights. Now, they have some limitations, which I think I covered fairly in the video, but they also work quite nicely. Are you going to do the Christmas challenges again? I hope not. I hope I can just do a calendar or something less detrimental to my health. Last year's videos, oh, at least I've had regular, not every night, but I have had regular nightmares about the hot chip challenge and the da bomb. Oh, that was not fun. But, you know, anything to support a charity, that's all I can say. I'm running 2 Flexies at the moment, says Andy. I've had them for about 3 years, loads of issues that require modifications, but they're still lovely tanks. I'll be getting a 2.0 just to see if they live up to expectations. Well, I will be getting a 2.0 as well. Hopefully we'll be able to make a video and show you whether or not I think it's all that good. I mean, I both love and hate the idea of a Fluval Flex. It just seems like the stupidest idea ever. Oh, what is it about fish tanks that you need to do to make it able to see? Oh, you need to clean them regularly. What could we do to make it as difficult as possible to clean them? You'd probably put in like a curve in the glass. That would make it hard to clean. Yeah, let's do that. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I really like that. So I don't know. Yeah. I've been pipped at the post for a couple of Fluval Flexies over the years. So I've never actually kept one, so I don't know whether I would enjoy it or not. But I think it looks good, and for my daughter's tank, it'll probably do the thing. Chuckler says, we nearly killed him last year, Rebecca. We did, I know. But, you know, if I die for my art. So I will say I'm open to suggestions. So normally what we would do is over the Christmas New Year period, I started this by selling a calendar, whether it was pictures that I took, pictures that you took, pictures that other creators had taken, whatever it might be. And last year we flipped the script a little bit and did challenge videos. So the Wheel of Misfortune, you donate money, and the more you donate at certain milestones, I would spin this wheel. So I think it was, what did we do? Was it every 20 quid or something like that that got donated? We would spin the wheel. And there's some not so bad things, and there's some absolutely horrific things. Like pickled herring. That wasn't nice, but it didn't make me go and violently throw up for 3 days. So that was okay. So I could get away with that. So I'd spin the wheel and do the thing. I think this might have been the wheel from the 3rd or the 4th week of December when I thought I'm going to have to take the bomb off because it's just too bad. Reaper fudge, yeah. So that was like a fudge that was infused with Carolina Reaper. So I'd eat these things while doing the live stream, and it must have been horrible for you guys as well, because it was me sat there going, with tubs of ice cream and drinking milk, and oh god, I really like hot, spicy things, but I seem to have a ceiling that once I go past that, I turn into the biggest wet blanket that's ever lived. It was fun to watch, says Adam. Thanks, Adam. Yearly prize, you come to the winner's house and escape their tank. I don't think anybody would want that. I mean, I have a video idea kicking around in the back of my head where I'm going to actually try and be an aquascaper. So it's like my journey to aquascaping, and maybe even going to the point of like doing lots of practice tanks and stuff like that, but then maybe trying some competitions and stuff. Because you've seen my every video I've ever made about aquascaping has been me going, well, I've got this stuff, throwing it at a tank and going, just messing about with it until it kind of looks all right. But then when I was sat watching in fact, it was watching the Aquaman one that made me think, yeah. But that and watching MJ Aquascapes and George Farmer doing their aquascaping, I was like, oh, that might be interesting if I just like really tried to do it. As I've got all the books. That was another. I don't know whether I should say this out loud or not. I own one of George Farmer's books. I bought it when it came out, and I thought, oh, that'd be good. I'll take it down. I'll get him to sign it, because I'll see him there, and I'll have early access to him while he's not being bothered by the public. So I took it down. I was packing my bag in the car park to go in, and I just lifted the book, and it kind of slipped out of my hands. I was, oh god, I dropped it. I picked it up and I opened it. He's already signed it. So I'd have been there going, hey, hi, George, I've got your book. Would it be all right if you signed it? And he'd go, yeah, of course, Graham. And he's already done it once. I completely forgot. Luckily, I dropped it and noticed, so I didn't have to take it in. So I thought that was quite fun. But anyway, I thought that might be a good like video series. Get a couple of videos out of that of me doing a couple of practice tanks, maybe joining some competitions or something, just to see whether or not it's a thing. I've decided that I'm going to try and give it a go, this whole YouTubing thing, and not just have it as an afterthought. That I only ever make, so it's difficult this, because I only ever make vloggy style things of I'm doing a thing. I'm going to point a camera at myself while I do the thing, and you can all watch that thing. Very rarely do I give insightful commentary or make cinematic masterpieces, or do you know what I mean? That's just not my thing. And I have built an audience based on that. But one of the problems I've got is I've built an audience that in a large part will watch one video and then fuck off and never come back again. So I'm the only YouTuber in the world that can get people to subscribe to my channel but not watch. Most of the problem that people have is they get viewers watching their stuff, but they won't click the subscribe button. I have the opposite. I just don't understand. But anyway, trying to kind of flip the switch on that, flip the script, whatever you want to call it. Is there a way that I can engage my viewers to get them to come back for more? And again, this was something that came to me in the Aqua Show, where the different reasons people recognize me, the kind of common theme, other than the Timu stuff, was they remembered the videos that had actually tried a little bit more. And whether I try more on a video these days is very much, there's a correlation with how much time I've got. Am I on holiday? Is it a weekend that I get to make the video? It's something else going on. I don't have any time. It's just, oh, get it out, get it out, get it out. I don't know if anybody will notice this, but this last video that I got out, I spent twice, if not 3 times as long editing the last video that came out. Again, it's that thing I was talking about, like the tax for nothing guy, where it's the tiny little, almost imperceptible things that you add, extras, taking a little bit more, cutting a little bit more off, cutting a little bit more in, doing a little bit more editing, all those kind of things, to see if it makes a difference. This one so far hasn't. It's been bang average. When I released it, it was 5 of 10, and it has continued to be 5 of 10 all the way through. But I mean, you can't tell anything from one video. So I'm thinking, can I make a bit more of a concerted efforts to, even if it is just a vlog video, that I edit it a little bit more, a little bit better, with a little bit more thought? And can I make some other videos that are a little bit more of a story, telling a tale, telling a, if nothing else, something I find a bit interesting, and then just putting it out there to see whether anybody else finds it interesting? The answer might be no, we don't. Stop doing that, Graham. I don't know. I don't know. I have a few ideas for videos that are just different for me, off the beaten track a little bit. So I'm going to try them. You can't convince me not to try them, at least. Because things behind the scenes are starting to move a little bit. I'm starting to get some offers of whether it's collaborations, sponsorships, whatever. I could take this somewhere, maybe. So that I'm just thinking about just doing things that I don't do and putting a little bit more effort in. Stepping out of my wheelhouse. Going to Aqua was a big thing for me. I know it doesn't sound like a big thing, and it isn't a big thing, but for me it was. That was a weekend away from my family, spending money that should normally go on feeding my kids, on my indulgence to be a YouTuber. So could I just do that more? Some people do this without even a second thought. Your aquatic elements guy, Chris, he was all over me with about analytics and all kinds of things. He and I have very similar numbers. So I have way more subscribers than him, but almost the same views. So, and he has no qualms about, yeah, I'm going to take a week off and I'm going to go and visit these 5 things, these 5 locations, shops, people, and just phoning them up and saying, can I come and film your shit? Can we do a thing? Can we do this, that, the other thing? And he's getting good views from that. I could do that. And I don't want to be big-headed, but I hope I could do that better because I have a little bit more experience because I've been doing it a little bit longer. But I don't, because I'm like, no, I want to stay in my room and not do anything. It's safe and cozy and warm here. I don't like. But I could get made redundant next week. And if I actually tried at this could one day eventually replace that. And I'd much rather do this, even if it was out of my comfort zone. And the thing about Aqua was out of my comfort zone, and I bitched and moaned about having to do it, and it was scary, and I don't like it. And I loved it. Great fun. So why wouldn't I feel that about going and doing more shop tours, going to do some trade visits, doing some other big fish keepers, interesting things? Because you would like to see that. You clearly like watching it on other people's channels, so why am I denying myself that avenue of revenue, of creativity to do my spin on this is how you do a shop tour, or this is how you go and film someone's weird and wacky pond thing? So why won't you listen to my story of this is how I got into fish keeping, or this is why that dickhead redesigned my entire fish room. So there might be some new things. I guess that's where I'm coming from. Huyger is definitely quite nice. Instagram is a pain as I barely. And that is another one. So you might have noticed if you're following me on Instagram, I have posted an Instagram reel every day this week. I have posted a TikTok every day this week, and it's again talking to all these other people who do this kind of thing. They're like, you're leaving money on the table, Graham. Not just the expression. You're leaving potential subscribers and potential viewers on the table by not engaging in TikTok and Instagram and all the other things. Like Chris was showing me all his Instagrams and all his workflow of, right, I'll do this video that will be cut into 6 different reels for Instagram, and I'll schedule them to come out on these days, and then in the alternate days there'll be another one that will come out that will be to do with TikTok, which will all push towards the video that will come out on this date. And I'm like, I just turn my camera on, talk at it for an hour, spend another few hours cutting that down into 10 minutes, and then post it. So the amount of effort you're going to do all those things to get the same return as me, it's like I'm not. It's like I thought of a good word to describe this earlier, but it's like I'm kind of disrespecting my subscriber base by not putting the effort in. So if I've got 100,000 subscribers and I'm just going, yeah, we're doing a thing, we were great. I mean, it's not to say that that's not got value, because I have built that doing that. But if I then put the effort in as well to feed that subscriber base all these other things, then they might all start watching the rest of my videos. It's just this. I've always said it's a time issue. I have a full-time job, and I'm about to say something really stupid. I have a full-time job, and the curse is it pays too well, so I cannot ignore that full-time job. I have 3 kids and a wife, and I shit myself weekly that job will dry up, and how am I going to keep my family in food and clothes? I am nowhere near replacing that with what I do on YouTube. A few £100 a month. It's not even minimum wage. It's nothing. But I have a subscriber base that should be delivering, or not should, that has the potential to deliver somewhere up there towards those numbers if I was to put a bit more effort in. So maybe I should put a bit more effort in. One of the things I was thinking was just taking a load of leave and like spending 2 or 3 weeks just sitting, grinding out goods content. Like, I've always said I don't do storyboards, I don't do scripts, I don't do the. But maybe if I just did do all those things, I'd be able to get so much more content out of it, and it'd be so much higher quality that so many more people would like it. I don't want to alienate anyone either that likes my frankly shambolic approach to content, but that's kind of where my head's at the moment. So I'm going to try some new things. We'll see how we get on with that, I guess. Sorry, I've been rambling for a long time now, and I haven't actually read any of these comments. Sorry. Looking at the Mbuna tank, I think I may have missed the opportunity for a single betta fish. The plants look. Thank you. I use Fluval Aqua Skylights. I don't know if you had any experience with them, but they help bring out the. I have replaced the Mbuna tank lights. These replace a Fluval Aqua Sky. So I would encourage you to go and watch my latest video and see the difference. Because it's marked to me. What about 30 days of fish eating a different species? Oh, what, for the festive period? Yeah, we could try that. How about a signed copy of your program picture as a well, I don't actually have my program picture, but I'd be happy to sign any old nonsense. Every time I try with a video, it gets next to no view. That is the thing. You can easily be put off something by actually trying and it not being rewarded. But I think you're being disingenuous to yourself when you do that, because you can't expect rewards just by doing something once. You have to give it time to bed in and grow. One of the things I was talking about with Matt was again about that Sam from Thanks for Nothing. Like, how's he does? I mean, his videos are good. They are fantastic. But they're not that good. How has that happened? Why? How do you only get 6 videos and each of them gets like 5 million views? How is that possible? And it's because, so there is a theory. If anyone's ever started a TikTok channel or a YouTube channel or any of these things, that when you post your first 3 videos on any of these platforms, the platform doesn't know who you are. So if I scrapped Aquarium Adventures, started a brand new channel, which I have thought about doing, but if I scrapped it completely and just started a brand new channel and put out 2 or 3 videos, YouTube would be like, what do you do? Like, is it food blogs? Is it cars? Is it fish keeping? Is it DIY? Well, I don't know what this is, so I'm going to send it out to everybody and see what sticks. So you'll notice that if you start a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel or any of these things, the first few videos get loads of views because the platform's pushing it out there going, we need an audience for this guy. What's he into? And then your next 10 videos get a lot fewer views. My thing from that is, most people who start a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel or an Instagram channel or whatever it is aren't very good at it because they're just starting. So they put out the first few, get a load of views, they get encouraged, so they make more, and then the next few don't get as many, and then they get discouraged and they give up. And the reason they don't keep that level of views is because the videos aren't very good. Whereas this guy, Sam's first 3 videos were excellent. They were great. They were brilliant videos. So YouTube sent them out, and everyone else went, oh yeah, that's a good video. I like that. I'll watch that. And then because they were so good, they watched the next ones as well. There's something in that to say that, not that he's gamed the system or that he's certainly taken advantage of something, but he's deservedly been rewarded for making really good videos from the get-go. If I was to make that exact video, so say he never had existed and I made those exact 3 videos, YouTube's only going to show my videos to my audience, to the same people it shows my videos to already. So I can only grow organically because it's only going to show me, here's an Aquarium's video. Aquarium Adventures has released a video, right? So here's his subscribers, we'll send it to them. Here's some other people who like vlog style fish keeping content, we'll send it to them as well. And here's like a tiny sliver of non-fish keeping people, we'll send it to them. Now, if some of those slivers of audiences, if a higher percentage of them watch it, then the next one they'll send a bit more to, and a bit more to, and a bit more to. But when you start new, it's just sending it to everybody. So you're targeting lots of non-fish keeping people, but you've made a really engaging video, so loads of them get watching it. And the way YouTube works is, if somebody watches your stuff, they send it to more people. If nobody watches it, they stop sending it to people. It's as simple as that. There's this like all-powerful algorithm, but it's basically, if people like it, they send it to more people. If people don't like it, they stop sending it to people. That's the be-all and end-all of it. So there's only so much I can do, but just this week, me putting out a short every day and trying a little bit harder with some of the videos that I've made. I've only been able to do one. I've increased my views by 20%. If I keep doing that month on month, that's brilliant. But I need to do something a little bit different if I want to. My choices at the moment are just keep doing what I'm doing and growing like I'm growing, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Or try something a bit different. And I've always said that fish keeping is my hobby and YouTubing is my hobby. Fish keeping, I've challenged myself. I've done bigger fishies. I've done fishies that I haven't kept. I've done tanks that I've never built tanks before. I've built more tanks. I've done lots of challenges in the fish keeping side of things, but I've just kind of kept doing the same thing in the YouTube side. It has worked for me. Not many people get to 100,000 subscribers, so there's no poo-pooing it. But maybe I should try a few new things as well. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, they're probably all going, stop being a dick, Graham. Stop being up your own arse. So I'm now going to read some of the comments to make sure. Any shop tours in the future? Yes, maybe. I don't do shop tours as a rule. Maybe I'm going to start doing them again. Collaborations? Yes. Collaborations would be cool. They are a thing that I need to do more of. So, anybody, Rebecca, would you like to do a collaboration? Anybody else, would you like to do a collaboration? I might even get off my arse and come to you or meet you somewhere, or if you have an interesting thing to show me, I would love to come and look at it. New series, The Adventure of Murderous Brian and the Silver Dollars. Well, so one of the, spoiler alert, one of the videos that I've got in mind is about Brian and how he has shaped my hobby. Because without Brian, I wouldn't have this tank. I wouldn't have built Mega Tank 2. I probably wouldn't have the fish that I've got in Mega Tank 1. And I've reached a point in my hobby where I've kind of got everything's, I've reached a level, everything's fine. Everything where it's meant to be. There's no fish that's like, I need a bigger tank. There's no, all good. So that was one of the things I was thinking about. Aquatic Elements, I wonder his background. He's been in the, well, he runs his own business. He does like an aquarium and pond maintenance business. But he's also just got a bit of balls. He's like, he has clients that have cool things that he can obviously say, can I film some of this? Maybe I'll give you a discount. But he also has no qualms about ringing someone up or emailing them or trying to talk them round about, can I come and see your stuff? Like when he was like, oh yeah, you've got those, can I come up and see your stuff? And I was like, yeah, of course you can. So it's just a little bit of confidence, a little bit of moxie, maybe. Yeah, so Aquatic Elements, I think he has the confidence. He's filmed at locations most people wouldn't. Yeah. I'm too shy to film at any location. Yeah, I guess it's shyness. I'm not shy. I mean, but I also don't put myself in situations that might be even slightly uncomfortable. So I'm like, don't need to. Not bothered. Not going to. Whereas maybe I should because I can get something more out of it. I loved all the conversations I had with all the creators in Aqua. I was so worried about doing it because I didn't want to be seen as an influencer. I didn't want to be seen as someone that's But I shouldn't have given a shit about any of that. I should have just gone for it. And I would have done. It'd have been great. What about a few shorts from your live streams? Maybe. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. Can definitely do that. Most of my live streams are rants or slightly inebriated hot takes. Don't know how well they would do as shorts. We love the abuse. Keep disrespecting us. We deserve it. Social media is not all about videography. It depends what you make your channel about. Yours is a genuinely enthusiastic fish keeper. Yeah, but there could be more to it. You've got to try new things. That's all I can say is they're not all going to work, but let's give it a go. Matt says, I watch all your videos on YouTube because I'm not on any other social media. That's because you care about all your fish, and I worry about some of the other YouTubers moving fish on all the time. Yeah, and that was going to be part of the story of Brian. I really should have just moved him on rather than spend thousands and thousands of pounds. Try new things on your channel, says Juggler. Some of them might be better than Temu. Exactly. Temu has got me to where I am. No denying the Temu videos brought in the bulk of my subscribers. They just never watched another video because they weren't into that. So I've got to do more of that. So I think I've ridden the Temu train for about as long as I can. So I'm looking for the next Temu, basically. Fluval Aqua Skies, I used them on discus tanks. Now I remember the light was very pinpoint in a way. There is one strip of lights on the Aqua Sky, isn't it? It's not like 3 wide with angled LEDs. It can be quite strippy, but it's also quite... It's fine. I think in the video I said about the Fluval Aqua Sky was it's adequate. It's sufficient. But my impression of a cichlid tank, an African cichlid tank or a Mbuna tank is, wow, bright. Look at that. Now, I have no misconceptions that in a couple of weeks I might be fighting algae in this tank. But that does look great. Look at the shadows on the fish. Fantastic. That is bright. That is shimmery. That's exactly what I wanted from that tank. And the Aqua Sky just wasn't giving me that. I remember George Farmer's first filming. I think people like him and some don't realise it's followers from elsewhere. Yeah, and there is a lot of... I think I saw a comment earlier about I just don't like short form content, and that's fine. There's loads of people that don't like long form content and they only like short form content. But it's about kind of covering your bases a little bit. So you make the long form content, but you show it in short form content to some people, and maybe 10% of those people might be interested in finding some of the longer form content. So it's just all about that. It's definitely not for... Not easy, and it's not a, oh, here's your silver bullet answer of this is how you do these things and that'll make it work. I think the thing with Tanks for Nothing, if you look at his comments, so many people say they're amazing, but they don't keep fish or anything like that. And that to me is a positive. He is reaching an audience of non-fish keepers. He's showing off our hobby to lots of new people. And I want to do that as well. I'm not exclusive. You don't need to have been keeping fish tanks for 10 years to come and watch my videos. I want everybody to watch them. That's one of the bonuses and the benefits I think of his channel is it has shown our hobby to a whole new audience and potentially bringing new people into it, which at the end of the day is what we're all about. It's keeping it going. It's definitely not for fishies though, long term given the adult size of the fishies in those tanks. I mean, he does have more tanks. So he's not, I know he only shows 2 or 3 tanks in the videos. He does have others as well. And a lot of the stuff's about shrimp and stuff like that, where he's making these weird cave tanks and stuff like that. I won't have a bad word said about it. No. It's just, it's appealing to an audience that no one else is tapping into because of the way he's done it. It's nice to see a different fish room as well. Most are all racking. And I've almost got no racking now. I'm about to start thinking about taking down another rack as well. I can do collaborations, but I'm not sure I can do museum tours. I do know a wholesaler reasonably, but yeah, that might work. Just, I can't be prescriptive about what other people should do to make their channels better, because I don't know. All I know is I think I should be trying some different things. Tour narrow boats in the cut that have aquariums on them. That should be an easy one to put together. Narrow boats with aquariums. That's not one I had even thought about. How many tanks do you actually have set up at the moment? A lot fewer than normal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 with fish in them. So not that many. I'm in the living life, not filming life mindset, but I realise now I have no photos of much. And that's definitely a thing. You should have living life rather than filming it and not missing out on it. I definitely felt that when I went to the Aqua Show, where I was a bit like, I should be experiencing this rather than worrying about, am I getting enough footage? Am I speaking to the right people? All that kind of stuff. So, and again, there's no right and wrong here. I'm just thinking about things I might do. The Glorium. Oh yeah, the Glorium light I gave you. You won off me. Spreads the light out. Algae, I think, is more about nutrients than light, so you might be lucky. Nah, I think this is so bright that I'm definitely going to get algae. Luckily, I've got a good few plants in there, and I've also... I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Not that you can see it. So there obviously is some plants in there, but you hardly call it a planted tank. But as you can see there, that is some pothos. So I've added some pothos to all the outlets. There's some more over here, but you just can't see them. And they are really good nitrate sponges. So they should be able to help me with the nutrient balance. There's the spiritual reefer. What are you doing on a freshwater live stream? Nice to see you again. I was talking about you earlier, saying how wonderful you were. Smoky Bow Bandy. Hello. I actually have a museum tour filmed, but not sure I can share it either way. Since 2022, it's been taken out of camera storage. This might be one of those situations where you find it easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So I spent a long time talking to somebody from the University of Sheffield because they've got a zebrafish, zebra Daniel facility in there where they get through something like 20-odd thousand fish because they're a really good fish to use to do research on for lots of human conditions. And I've had video calls with them, I've had letters and emails exchanged back and forward, and they're just really reticent to do anything with me in case it attracts lots of animal rights nut jobs who are like, no, that's animal testing bad, boo. And we were trying to work out a way to show them that no, animal testing good. We're actually really caring for these fish well, and it's not like we're putting lipstick on rabbits and spraying perfume in their eyes. This is properly controlled and properly done, and I thought this is going to be a fantastic video. Not my, again, stepping out of my comfort zone, but it's not just man points for camera at himself while he cleans filter. This is actually going to be some information, some useful stuff, some interesting stuff. But I just could not convince them to get over the line of, yeah, okay, we'll do it. So it's just going to die to death. I'd love to do more of that kind of stuff as well. Anyway, Kathleen, I got back into fish keeping after being out of it for years by watching videos. And YouTube is a fantastic platform for that kind of thing. If nothing else, if I could convince loads of people to come and watch videos about fish keeping and then get them into the hobby, I'd be happy as Larry. My final pothos after 10 years finally decided to die. Oh no. I do have some monstera, but only with aerial roots. I mean, there are lots of terrestrial plants that will work quite well. Not necessarily like... there seems to be this misconception between immersed and submersed. There is an in-between that where you can have like the clay balls and stuff wicking up from submersed, which will still give you that. And lots of plants will be really happy with that. So that might be a thing that's worth trying. But I've had this one pothos plant for... I used to have one in my old house, in my old fish room. that I must have had for 3 or 4 years that got to the point where it was just going round and round the room and there was just so much of it. This one here I must have had for 3 or 4 years and it's still the same size as when I bought it. And I was lamenting about this the other day and then I realised that's because I keep taking cuttings of it and selling it to people. So I will generally, every couple of weeks, take some cuttings, put them in a glass, then put them in a tank somewhere, or give them away as a freebie if somebody orders plants from me or something like that. So I'm going to keep a few more for myself now and see if I can't get them. I think that would be pretty cool. One of the other ideas I've had for a video is, again, this is the Graham Tries to Be an Aquascaper series. Turning an area into like an aquascape, but you know how I've never really liked the aquascapes where you have the tank and everything comes out of the tank, and I've just always thought I was pretentious, but I'm starting to get into it a little bit now. But having that, but then also surrounding the plant with the tank with house plants and things like that, so as we could make a whole area of like a jungle with that being the center of it. So not necessarily a paludarium, but I might think about that. But just like expanding, not just being a tank with some plants coming out of it, but being a planted area with a tank in it. Does that make? I don't know. Who knows? We haven't even done the quiz. Already 11 o'clock and we haven't done. Right, sorry, we're going to have to do it very quickly because I was quite proud of this. 10 questions. It's translated lyrics. What I have done is taken song lyrics from popular songs. You Google translate them into German, Japanese, and French, and then translated them back. So some of them are a combination. And then what we've ended up as is the 10 questions. So 10 questions getting progressively harder. But we'll run through these just for fun. Remember, you don't have to, if you're out, you're out, that's fine, but you can keep playing along. But if you make it through all 10 questions, you win a prize for this last week only, because 59% of people say we don't need to do prizes anymore. The spiritual research says, me? It must have been someone else. I'm enjoying the live, even if it's lacking a little of the sodium chloride. No, I was singing your praises as a little bit about our discussion about the olden days of reefing and marine and how I found it quite difficult when I was trying to do marine to get a reliable and friendly source of advice. I think we were having a discussion where it was the person that told me to keep my hands out of the tank and me misconstruing that as, have I got some kind of oil that's harmful to the fish in my hands? But what they just meant was leave it alone. And I was like, well, just fucking say that then. Whereas you were saying, as someone who's quite new to it, or maybe even just the YouTube side of it, that it's changing a lot more. And some of the reefy guys that I met this weekend were evidence of that. So it does seem like it's getting a little bit more welcoming and inclusive. I likened it to, on the freshwater side, we have the beta side of things, or the discus forums and that kind of thing, where everyone's like, no, you're not good enough to do this. You must go away and serve an apprenticeship. Whereas I very much found reefing and marine like that maybe 7-8 years ago, something like that. I've done the wrong thing here. Hang on. But what I was saying was, I kind of binge watched your channel once I came back from Aqua, because I think you might work in video production anyway, and that's your background. Very high quality stuff. For God's sake, stop pressing the wrong buttons, Graham. But I liked your approach in your videos. It's very welcoming. It's very, right, come on, we're in this together, rather than, I'm gatekeeping, this is how you should do things. Right, there's the link to the Illuminator. We will start it very quickly because I'm already over time. But yes, so like meeting you guys certainly opened up the door, and I think what I would have liked to have done, again, earlier in the stream we were talking about Aqua and what I think we missed a trick in not getting together before the event and discussing some things we could have done, because there's been lots of people who have reached out to me afterwards saying, oh, we should have a collaboration, we should do a panel, we should do this, we should that, the other. Like, certainly for me, I spent most of the Saturday going, I don't know who any of these people are. Oh. And then getting to know some of you and going, oh, they're actually all right. Oh, we should probably do something together. And then it's Sunday and everyone's gone home, so we kind of missed it. I wish we'd got our act together a little bit. So I was thinking about next year, we need to plan ahead in advance of how we're going to work together. And I really want to foster the freshwater and reefing rather than freshwater versus reefing. Because one of the things I got was a lot of the people were like, oh, there's not enough marine, or there's too much marine, or there's not enough freshwater, oh, there's too many shrimp. Oh, like, there's space for all of us, guys. It's a big building. We can all fit in here. Has anyone tried sweet potato roots in tanks? Many garden centre varieties that soon to get frost here, so tempted to try. I've done it in the past. It's, I mean, if you want to fill your tank full of roots, that's the way to go. I've done it, well, as Rebecca's saying there, mold can be an issue, yes. I've done it several times and I've lost more than I've succeeded with. You don't do music, yeah, you can have a go. You might be lucky, you never know. I think the societies would be worth having there. So many societies with knowledgeable fish keepers. Yeah, I definitely don't disagree. I think that would be good because, if nothing else, a society is the type of place that will say, right, members, we're going to put on a bus. Who wants to come to this show? And they bring 40 people at a time. So, yeah, definitely. But we have to have something for them to go and see. So, yes, there was bargains to be had, but I mean, if you're just after a shopping trip, is that good? So I think we also need to expand on the things to see. So things to do, yeah, you can go shopping. You can check out all the latest technologies. You can check out all these things. You can buy whatever you want to buy. You can get some good deals, but there has to be things to see and do as well. So a little bit more than that. Right. So for those of you who like to do the scanny thing, nope, that's the wrong button. Nope, that's the wrong button. There we go. Those of you who like to scan the scanny thing, there's the scanny thing. I think we might be reaching the limits of my bladder, so I'm going to try and get through this as much as possible, but we'll give it a go. Many people's even here. Usually when I run over like this, everyone gets fed up and goes to bed. There's still 40 people here. That's not bad for this time of night. Right. Of that 40, 10 of you have decided to play the game. Come on, we can have a few more. I think the Aquatics Live had rarer fishies that members had. That's the one thing that a society can bring. They can bring in your uber geeks who have the proper specialty breeders that can bring in the weird and the wonderful and the rare. That's definitely something that societies can do easier than retailers, for instance. I feel we need to do more of freshwater than aquascaping, something for freshwater fish keepers to aspire to. I get where you're coming from, but my question is what? So aquascaping is something you can do a demo of. Now, I know not everybody's that interested in it, but when you can do something that the end result is something that's very creative and it's very wow and aspirational and all that kind of stuff, yes, we have to acknowledge that the hobby has much, much more in it than just aquascaping. But what else is in it that's as easy to show off? So having people, that's why I thought panels might be good, because you could take questions from the audience and have, if it's a panel of fish keeping YouTubers, you're going to get a kind of wideish gamut of people there that will be into different things. So that might be a good way to show off the rest of fish keeping, because if you take questions from the audience, oh, why did you get into fish keeping, or what do you think about doing this with this kind of plant, or this, then it's kind of opening the door into, it's like education without educating, where I don't know how to say this. So the guy that I watched who did the fish nutrition thing, a few people I spoke to were like, oh, I don't know about this. This is going to be very dry, very hard to swallow. But he was really good. He pitched it at the right level, and it was almost like an introduction into it. Sometimes when you're like, and I've seen them myself, where you go, oh, Dr. Jemima Puddle Duck is now going to give us a lecture about the fishes of the 15th biggest tributary of the Rio Nani in Peru. And you're like, really? Okay. It needs to be something that's great for the people that want to see that, but the majority of fish keepers, that's too much. They want a more light-hearted, higher level overview style talk rather than deep dive. There's a place for the deep dives, but I don't think it's that kind of show that's open to whole of the public. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Going into depth into fishies talks, but approachable talks is definitely a must. There's some really good talkers for that aren't too scientific. Yeah, we absolutely should be getting them into places like this so as they can do those approachable, inclusive talks to bring more people in rather than scare them off or bore them to tears. Panels would be fun. I think panels would be fun. I think that would be another way to do that sort of thing. I'd rather it be more than YouTubers, though. Yeah, I mean, why not? Of course, there's no reason it shouldn't be more than YouTubers. I was just saying the YouTubers because talking to the organizer, the reason the YouTubers were there was because last year people asked to see YouTubers, so they invited some. So they were clearly a draw. So what I want to see is that if we are a draw in some way, use us to draw in people. Not there's more. The draw can't just be Graham's going to be there. Graham's here on a Friday night. You don't have to go to Telford or Coventry to see Graham. So if I'm going to be there, have me do something. Have me. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Right, we've convinced 16 of you now. So get ready for the quiz. Remember, this is translated lyrics. This is songs that have been put through Google Translate at least twice. I want to know what the real song is. So, Mother, Only Now I Eliminated a Person. What could that be? Is that Rolling Stones, Brown Sugar, Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, or Oasis, The Master Plan? Yeah, the YouTuber should be used and talks would have been epic. The talks would have been good. There was another talk. I completely missed another talk that was about water testing and water parameters and stuff. It might have been brilliant as well. I don't know. Everyone except one person thinks that's Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. Because it's Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. So all these people are still in. Who got eliminated in that? Spiritual Reefers out, it's too slow. Garage Girls is too slow. They were out twice. Bodies Buddy. It only gave me a few seconds. You had 30 seconds. But keep going. You never know. Question 2. Oh. Oh. You are glowing, you are blazing, similar to a valuable diamond. Is that Diamonds by Rihanna, Chandelier by Sia, Fireworks by Katy Perry, or Shine On You Crazy Diamond by Pink Floyd? Oh, has the website done you over? Sorry, everyone. I might give you a free retry. Oh, not going to be losing any money this month. The correct answer was Diamonds by Rihanna. Shine bright like a diamond was translated into, I think that was Japanese and then back again, which then gave us, you are glowing, you are blazing, similar to a valuable diamond. Right, I'm just going to pause things because I have a funny feeling. Right, talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I've done that thing where I've made every question 10 seconds long, so I need to give you a little bit more time. I'm just going to do that now. Talk amongst yourselves, blah, 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 blah. Don't know why there's a picture of a squirrel on my desktop all of a sudden, but anyway. Rolling Stone child, wherever you hang your cap, that is where your dwelling is. That Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan? Is that Papa Was a Rolling Stone by The Temptations? Or Wherever I May Roam by Metallica? Or Homeward Bound by Simon and Garfunkel? Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. Papa Was a Rolling Stone, which only 2 of you got right. Is there anybody still in? Anna Banana is the only one that's still in. But you know, keep playing everyone else. God, we don't usually get rid of so many people this quickly. Question number 4. You can't always acquire what you desire. However, on occasion, you may discover you obtain what you require. Is that Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones, Let It Be by the Beatles, Imagine by John Lennon, or You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Rolling Stones? This week's eliminator, Très Difficile. Sorry. But 9 of you went with You Can't Always Get What You Want. That is the correct answer. Oh, this ranking things doesn't work when I do it like this. So far, no, 2 questions correct by Smokey, Skinzarno, Elaine, Strabo, Mona Lee have all got 2 questions right. I don't know why you're listed as survivors, but anyway, we'll move swiftly on. Question 5. Simply a provincial female existing in a solitary universe. Is that Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi, Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, or Dancing Queen by ABBA? Is everybody just guessing? Is this far too hard? If it is, I apologise. But I thought it was quite good. I'm just a small town girl living in a lonely world. Sorry, I'm going to have to stop singing. The correct answer was Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Question 6. Strike me, my darling, once further, as if I were not adequately pained. Strike me, my darling, once further, as if I were not adequately pained. I mean, these made more sense when I wrote these. If you are here for the first time, please come back next week. They're not always this hard. 7 of you going for Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, because that is the correct answer. Yay. Maybe I should have made that question too. Question 7. We shall once more endeavour to agitate you. Is that Radio Gaga, Another One Bites the Dust, We Will Rock You, or Don't Stop Me Now? We shall once more endeavour to agitate you. Endeavour to agitate you. We shall once more endeavour to agitate. Giving you clues now. Come on. We Will Rock You by Queen is the most popular answer. Oh. That was actually right. Sorry. There you go. The correct answer was We Will Rock You by Queen. Well done. Almost had a bit of a faux pas there. Question number 8. Greetings, Gloom, my antique ally. Greetings, Gloom, my antique ally. Is that Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel? Is that The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel? Is that Yesterday by the Beatles? Or Hello by Adele? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? That's not Adele, is it? Lionel Richie. You think it is The Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel? It is. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Greetings, Gloom, my antique ally. Question 9. Whether inhaling or choosing to stride, I shall be surveilling you. I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston, With or Without You by U2, Careless Whisper by George Michael, or Every Breath You Take by The Police. Whether inhaling or choosing to stride, I shall be surveilling you. Does sound a bit sinister, that one, doesn't it? That one's easy. Loads of you got that one. I should put that down at the end. It was The Police, Every Breath You Take. So, apparently we've got one survivor who's got 8 questions correct. And that is Adam, we duck. And technically, you are a hero member, so that you get a free one. So if you get this one right, you get a prize that I'm not going to give you. Question numero 10. My ex-amour transports fresh females, shuddering in my appellation. My ex-amour transports fresh females, shuddering in my appellation. Is that Taylor Swift, Shake It Off, Adele, Chasing Pavements, Lady Gaga, Bad Romance, or Katy Perry, I Kissed a Girl? Taylor Swift, Adele, Lady Gaga, or Katy Perry? My ex-amour transports fresh females, shuddering in my appellation. I think this one I translated into French, then Japanese, then back into English. You think it's Katy Perry. It is, in fact, Taylor Swift. Shake It Off. My ex-man brought his new girlfriend. She's like, oh my God, but I'm just going to shake, etc. My ex-more transport fresh female shuddering in my appellation. Who knew? Has anyone... Oh, have we got a drum roll? We have got a drum roll. Has anyone... Oh, popped that up as well, didn't I? Well done, me. So, final rankings, finish trivia game, that's what I wanted to do. Your winners this week are Wee Duck got 9 correct, and with his actual membership, that's 10. You win a prize. You win a prize. But we have just agreed that prizes are useless and we don't need prizes. So we'll maybe save it for my 100,000 stream. You'll get an extra special prize. I'm sure you'll get something there. Okay, that was a bit of an experiment, that one. I don't know that that will be making a comeback. We might go back to close-ups of animals' eyes next week or something along those lines. I knew the one I got wrong to. I second guessed, but well, you did well because nobody else even got close. 6 was the next best. Unless I can't see that properly. Yeah, Anna Banana, Mona Lee got 6 right. Era404 got 5, as did Juggler. Elaine Strabo got 4. Skinzarno Body's Buddy got 3. Smoky Bobandi got 2. Lemoy and the Spiritual Reefer got 1. And Garage Gills got 0 twice. Thank you all for participating. That was a bit of fun. So, we've been down a little bit in numbers this week because of the Keystone Clash. So, I'd like to thank all, how many of you? 55 of you, I think we had at the best point. 55 of you for making an effort and coming along this week. As I said, we're going to be trying a few new things in the coming weeks and months where I try a little bit harder to be a proper YouTuber. See if we can't get a few more people to watch my videos. I'm also up for any ideas. If you have 200 subscribers and you have a good idea, I'm more than happy to do a collaboration with you. I met some big, small, medium-sized creators this weekend, and they were all to a T, absolutely lovely. So I want to be exactly the same and not be up my own bum about viewer figures, subscriber counts, any of that kind of stuff. Got a good idea, let's work together on it and get something out. Other than that, if we've got any final questions, let's have a look. Next week, super duper cryptic crossword clues. That would be evil. I would not like to be that evil. Anna says it was fun. Good. I'm glad somebody liked it. I did Smoky Bobandi thought it was fun as well. Good. Thank you. Just to say that Mbuna tank looks great. Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm kind of proud of it. If I do say so myself, I'm enjoying these little fishies. They are ever active. I'm starting to see a few personalities and some individual fish come out. So I can only hope that that keeps up. And they've not really gone to town on my plants either. So the plant thing might work out. Which would be nice. Right, we've reached that time, everybody. I would like to say thank you very much all for coming and spending some time with me on this Friday evening. If you've got a bit more time, I mean, if you went and watched my last video, I wouldn't hate it. I'd actually be really happy if you did that. See if you can spot any of the little improvements I've tried to make in that video. Other than that, there's a fish auction in Sheffield this weekend. The Jugglers, the one that we met at last year or the year before, whenever that was, that's on again. I might pop along to that because I would like to get some cleaning crew. So these rocks aren't that colour. That's the algae on the rocks. So I think I'll need like an army of bristlenoses or some snails or something like that. So I might pop along to that auction, see if I can't pick up a few bargains. So if you fancy coming to that, it's the Sheaf Valley Aquarium Society big September auction. If you fancy it, it's on Sunday. Come along and I'll see you there. Come and say hello to me. But for now, I'll bid you all good night. Thank you for coming. Same time next week. This is the bit where I now awkwardly look for the end stream button and can't actually find it. There it is. Bye!